Hi everybody, welcome back to the Herefordshire Gardener channel. My name's Aaron. In this video today I'm going to be reviewing this stunning rose to the right of me. This is Jubilee Celebration, bred by David Austin and introduced in 2002. It is a stunning rose, probably one of my favourites in my entire collection. I love this rose and I cannot wait to share this review with you guys. As always, remember, give the video a thumbs up if you're enjoying the content, just to help it go out to more similar minded people on YouTube. And if you're new here, remember, hit the subscribe button and then you won't miss any more future uploads. Thanks again for watching. So we're up in the kitchen garden today. This is where my Jubilee Celebration is. I've done a lot of rose reviews on quite a few of these roses already, so please do feel free to check the channel. I'm going to take you straight down to Jubilee Celebration, which is sitting at the end of this row of roses. I love this rose. It's just, everything about it is just incredibly beautiful. So that's her. I purchased her from David Austin direct as a bare root. And I believe she came at the end of 2023. So she put on a bit of growth last year, although last year, to be fair, 2024 was a bit of a write-off in terms of we just had non-stop rain. But this year she's really come into her own. She's well and truly into her first flush. I've been deadheading her quite regularly, although her blooms do tend to last quite a long time. But just look at that rose. Wait till I get a bit closer and you see the detail. So this rose, I remember when I went to the David Austin Shropshire Gardens for the first time. This was the rose in their gardens that captured my heart completely. I remember seeing it in, I can't remember which garden it was in, but one of the walled gardens, and it was in the middle of a bed. I'll see if I can dig out the picture, but I literally had to lean in to have a good sniff of her and just to look at her in more close detail. I was completely mesmerised. And then I was really upset to find out that they were retiring her. Although having said that, in that same year, I got wind that they might be selling some more of them. So I went on the website and yeah, they were selling some more. So I quickly put it in my basket. And she arrived, like I said, in late 2023, around about November time. So I was over the moon. I've checked the website today. They are still selling her, but they're out of stock. So I would just say, after you've watched this video, if you're interested, just put an order in, just get it in before it's too late. Let's go in and talk about Jubilee Celebration. So as always, I've got to show you one of the blooms first of all. I can't not show you because it's just incredible. Look at this. Isn't that just beautiful? Look at the coloration of this bloom. It is the most beautiful coral pink colour with a pearlescent peachy back to each petal, which just, look at the detail in that centre. That is absolutely stunning. The arrangement of those petals. God, I love this rose. Try not to get sidetracked, Aaron. Let's do the usual review then. So we'll have a look at the buds to start off with. What can we say about the buds for Jubilee Celebration? Well, they're green, quite light green to be honest, compared to a lot of the other David Austins. Yeah, nothing else really special about them to be honest. They're uniform in colour. You get this lovely hit of deep sort of coral pink red as they open, with that sort of lighter tone on the base of the petals. And then if we find one that's a little bit further on, you can see as they open up, still getting that lovely deep, it's almost like magenta. No, I wouldn't say quite magenta, but it's definitely a lovely rich red, I would say pink, and it contrasts lovely with the opened blooms, as you can see in the background. Let's find one that's a little bit further on. We've got one round here. Just want you to appreciate the shape. Just look at that and give you an idea of size. Beautiful. Can you see that hit of yellow at the base of each petal and the different colour on the outer side of the petal compared to the inside? We've got lovely coral light pinks on the inside of the petal, and then they're more peachy tones on the outside, and it just creates this really elegant effect. I love the fatness of the buds as well. They've got a nice belly to them, this bit here when they're opening. So that continues on. Just show you some detailing on the back of the petals, so you get that lovely yellow halo as the actual bud meets the sepals. I just love this fading of the petals. It's just incredible. Got some pollen beetles here again today, attracted to the scent of this rose, which I'm going to come on to shortly. We'll just have a look at that. I think one of the characteristic features of Jubilee Celebration is the petals. They point, they come to a nice point, each one of them. You see the sort of centre of each petal, it's definitely got a defined lip on there. And I just think it gives it a lovely crisp appearance. But that coloration, just look at that shot. What is not to like there? She is glowing. I absolutely love this colour combination. Do you know, if there was an emergency in this house and garden and I had to evacuate one of the roses, this one would be the rose. I honestly think they've reached excellence when they've released this rose in 2002. It's also the year that my niece was born, my first niece, so holds a bit of a special place in my heart for that reason also. I just can't get over that colour. We're not even at fully opened yet. So they do nod slightly. That's the only drawback to this rose, is the blooms, because they're so large as well. I'll show you the size of the fully open ones. There is a bit of weight with a high petal count, so they do nod slightly, and she'll grow to about 4 foot tall by 4 foot wide, and she's got sort of arching stems. But if you wrap her around an obelisk like I have here, or you perhaps grow up a structure that she can nod the blooms down so you can sort of see them when you're facing her like this. She's not a rose that ever really has her blooms looking up at you, unless, like this one at the top, she's actually supported by the other growth, and then she'll just nestle in the foliage. Look at the centre on that. The outer petals are lovely and relaxed, and that centre, it almost looks gold. That coloration is incredible, and the shape, it's like a snail shell in the middle. That is so unusual. Absolutely stunning. So let's go further to another bloom that's on its way. I'm going to just lean down a little bit on the ground just so you can appreciate it. And the colour really on this video, I don't think it's doing it justice. It's doing a good job, but in person it's even better. It really is incredible. Just look at the coloration there in that centre. Look at the pearlescent softness of those inner petals. I feel like this is the clam of the rose collection, and those are the pearls in the middle. Honestly, it's stunning. There are some stamens deep down in there when she fully opens, but just love that arrangement of petals. And if we just very carefully tilt her up and just have a look at her side profile, look at that, guys. That is just divine. Love the hit of the yellow at the base of the petals. And I just love that peachy pink, coral pink tone. And then the reverse of the petals are almost golden. So, you know, when you sort of turn the bloom, or you catch it in different lights and different angles, it just look at that. Love it. I'll just put that one down. If we then go and look at a slightly more mature bloom, this one at the top, they last quite a while on the bush. I'd say at least 5 to 7 days, so it's got good longevity. Again, you've got that lovely coloration. We've had a bit of rain, so we've got a few spots on here, but that's typical of all of them. Just want you to appreciate the shape of those petals. And then as you can see, she completely unfurls, so that snail shell structure's open now, and you've still got on the reverse, look at the reverse colour. It's a soft pearlescent apricot peach colour. You can see the pollen beetles absolutely love this rose. It really is spectacular. Now the fragrance, I'm just going to have a little smell of this rose. That is a fantastic fragrance. It does not disappoint. Very, very strong, fruity, heavy citrus notes. So you get lemon, lime and cherry in there. It is an incredible scent. It's beautiful. Really is gorgeous. So this would be perfect near to a seating area where you're really going to appreciate that scent. There's another one that's about midway open. You can see that scent is just starting to open up. Very heavy petal count, as I mentioned. She is beautiful. Look at this bud as it's opening. Look at the colorations there on that. Isn't that gorgeous? And even at this stage, you can smell the scent. It's definitely there. She's dripping in blooms for her first flush. And I mean, I've deadheaded loads off of her already. Look at that. This is one of my mother-in-law's favourite roses as well. She really does enjoy coming in the garden and seeing this one. Look at it. God, I keep saying it, but it is just so beautiful. Cannot get over it. As you can see, we've got clusters of blooms everywhere waiting to open. I've just got her on this temporary willow structure, as I have most of the roses in here until I find a space, and she's definitely going in this kitchen garden. She'll probably go in the central walkway, I think, so that I get to walk past her every day. Foliage wise, a lovely sort of dark green foliage. Nothing sort of out of the ordinary really. Serrated leaf edge. Yeah, slight gloss I would say, not heavy, just a slight bit there. Stems wise, it's got a nice sort of pink tone to the stems, you can see. They're not very thorny, there are the occasional few small thorns. The central stems tend to be a little bit more spiky, you can just see in there. But generally speaking, she's, I'd say, medium thorn count in my opinion. And they're not the worst thorns in the world, like some roses, Harlow Car for example. There's a rose that'll leave no skin on your hand, beautiful as she is. Got some more blooms around this side. Let's have a look at these. Oh my God. Do you know, when it's down like that, you just, I mean, it looks stunning just in that position, but then you turn her up and you just, the elegance of that rose and that centre detail with those outer petals, and then that gorgeous fragrance. It's beautiful. It's very similar to Estesia Vi, but in terms of scent, not the way the rose looks. It's very different rose. Similar colours, I guess, a little bit. Let me just see if I can pick this one up and just show you this one. And they're massive. I've got huge hands. This rose is easily, I'd say, probably 4.5, 5 inches across. It's that side profile of the pink with the golden pearlescent peach that just does it for me with this rose and the pointed petals. And the heavy petal count, the scent, just everything. Got another bloom there, look. Just opening up. So yeah, absolute favourite rose of mine. I would highly recommend this one. I think if you get her, she'll probably be one of the favourites in your collection as well, and you'll really understand what I mean compared to some of the other roses in the David Austin range. She is a standout rose. They released Emma Bridgewater recently, which has got a few of her characteristics in my opinion. She's just over there. What I mean is her petals are, they have that sort of, she's a different rose, but her petals have that sort of point to them. It's almost like a line that runs up the middle of the petal and ends. And that's a charm that I love about the Emma Bridgewater rose as well. I've done a review on her. If you're interested, go and check her out. And I've done a review on Pat Austin, also stunning rose. But Jubilee Celebration, there she is in all of her beauty. I'm going to leave you with this final bloom. Just want to say thanks again for watching. Remember to like the video if you've enjoyed the review, and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more future content. Thanks again for watching. Bye bye.